Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peter Likes Books. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm back. I have been filming over here so much lately, and I have had so much fun filming over here. So, I wanted to come over here and do another haul. The other day, I did a huge book haul over here, and then I did an Audible haul, but then I turned around and I bought some more books, and so I have another haul that I want to do for you guys. Another big book haul over here, but they're very specific books, so I'm very excited about this, and I'm very excited about reading these books. So here's the thing. I am really excited for summer. I've used the word excited like 5 times. In fact, I think it was in my Peterisms video today. I looked. I have a pool opening countdown on my phone. Hold on, let me get this ad off here really quick. Why is it not showing up? Okay, I gotta put my reading glasses on so I can see. Move it back over here. So I have this. Why is it not working? I have this. Continue to app. Here it is. I have this pool. You can't see it on there. But I have this pool countdown. We are 72 days, 6 hours, 34 minutes, and 26 seconds, 24 seconds, 23 seconds to the pool opening. And I am so ready and so excited for the summer. I'm excited to sit outside on my patio. I'm excited to sit by the pool and read. In my younger years, right before and after I got sober, in my early 20s, I loved nothing more than to sit by the pool. And after I got sober, you know, I would make like my own iced coffee or drink Diet Cokes, and I would just sit by the pool for hours, you know, and I would just like that on my days off, and I would read, and then I would come back and I would take a nap, and I loved it so much. And I was reading like all these like really great books at the time. I would also go to the store, and I would, after a meeting or whatever, and I would pick up one of like the newest James Pattersons or something like that, and I would just like tear through that at night. But during the day, I was reading like literature. I was reading like really good stories. And so if you watch my last haul, I bought a lot of like what we said, I don't know, important books. You know, every book's important to me. Listen, if you read one book a year and it's 20 pages, you read a book. You know what I mean? And so I'm just so excited I can remember my patio at my apartment that I lived in before and after I got sober, my first apartment, and I had all these plants out there, and I had this chair, and I would just sit out there, and I would just like read that whole summer that I got sober. And I feel like I'm kind of like having like flashbacks of going back to that summer that I first got sober and how much I read. And I was, you know, at that point I was reading just like really good books and really good stories and stuff like that. And so I'm like really excited about that again, about reading on the front porch, reading on the back porch, reading by the pool, going down to the pool for a whole day, taking my bag with me, taking a good book. And so I wanted to get some different books. Last haul that I did a lot of Southern fiction. I did a lot of kind of like cult following books like Bukowski and things like that, and like William S. Burroughs, and I just like short stories and whatever. And right now I'm currently reading, I'm reading several books, but I'm reading the short story collection called Crash Diet by Jill McCorkle, who is one of my favorite Southern authors of life. I'm also reading What We Talk About When We Talk About Love, the short story collection by Raymond Carver. I actually just found Shortcuts, which they turned into a movie. I totally forgot that they made that movie from the short stories of Raymond Carver, and I don't think I've ever read it. I found it on my bookshelf when I was cleaning out my bookshelf. So I have a couple of his short story books that I've never read before, and I'm really excited about that. But I'm really into the short stories right now. And then I'm reading a couple, I think I'm reading like 2 different graphic novels right now. I'm reading Fangirl, the manga, part 3. And then I'm reading this other one. It's like Beatrice and somebody. It's about this woman that moves from the Bronx to Oregon to like be the assistant for this writer. It's very well done. It's based on like a famous novel. And then what else am I reading? And then I'm listening to The Firm right now by John Grisham, because that's the first part of Peter's book club for March. And then the second part is The Exchange by John Grisham, the sequel. So anyway, I'm very excited about reading. So the other night, I was sitting there, and I had been thinking about the fact that years and years and years ago, before my book came out, I read Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Oliver Symes. And I ended up, I always mispronounce, whenever I say that, my husband he goes, "You're not pronouncing his name correctly." But anyway, I ended up reading a lot of his books. I read like Juliana and Jesus Go to Hollywood, which I loved. I think that's what it's called. My favorite book by Benjamin Oliver Symes, a lot of people know him because of Aristotle and Dante, but my favorite book of his is called Last Night I Sang to the Monster. which is about I think it's like a 19, 20-year-old kid that goes to treatment. It's his treatment program, and he's there with all these adults, and he becomes friends with his roommate, who's like this 50, 60-year-old guy, and they become really like good, dear good. I think the guy dies at the end of it, and they're like really dear friends. And that book, like, was what initiated me actually writing him years ago. And Benjamin Elia Signs and I wrote back and forth to each other for a long time and was just really gracious. And so the other night, I actually ended up watching the movie, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. But I had thought about watching it, and I thought it was good. I don't know that I would think it was good if I had just read the book, but it had been so many years since I read the book. I love the movie. I thought the movie portrayal was fantastic. But I was thinking that like back in the day, I would read gay fiction, you know, or LGBTQIA plus fiction, and I hadn't, and you know, every once in a while, a book here, a book there, but I really haven't in a long time. And I was like, you know, I want to get back to my roots of being a proud gay man, and I want to read some gay literature as well. And so I got on Google, and I cross-referenced it with Goodreads and Amazon, and I bought all these books on Amazon. Here they are. And let's go better thumbnail. There. Very serious. I got on Goodreads and I literally just Googled like best gay fiction novels, and I just read through them, and these were the ones that seemed interesting to me. By the way, I don't know if this one is considered that or not, but the first book that I found is called The Last Cigarette on Earth by Benjamin Elia Signs, which is one of his books that I've never read before. So should we start with that one? Okay, so let me go through here. I'm just going to read you guys, tell you guys what these are, and then read you the synopsis for it. So this is The Last Cigarette on Earth, a book of poems by Benjamin Elia Signs. I think it's his most recent book that came out, maybe? I shouldn't say that. It came out in 2017, and I have never read it before. And it says on the back here, I guess this is one of the poems. You loved beer and crack. You loved heroin, ecstasy, the sad music of the bars. You said you loved me too. I'm thinking of the night I met you. Late October night, the breeze as soft as your black eyes. You took my hand and placed it on your chest. It goes on and on and on. But anyway, some of these poems are like prose. They're very, very long. I'm really excited about reading this. We're getting ready to go to Florida, so if you don't see me over here as much, it's because I'm in Florida, and I'll be back as soon as we're taking a short little trip down there for Ultra Music Festival, and then we're going to stay a couple days after that, and then we'll be back, and as soon as we get back, then I'll be filming back over here regularly again. But I'm thinking about taking this one with me for the beach, for beach reads. So that's the first one that I got. And what does it say? Let's read the synopsis. I'm dreaming of Juarez. It's another poem. Okay. I love the honesty of this work and the sharp, sweet reminder that we pick up our own and other people's, tattoos and all, the same way birds hold on to something inside and out to fly forward. His tunes are wild and brave. Eileen Miles. So anyway, excited about reading this. Okay, the next one and I'm just going to go in order. I don't really, to be honest with you, know anything about these books. The next one is called Summer of '99 by J.L. Hyde, and it's a novel. I don't know if these are good or if these are bad. J.L. Hyde, a northern Michigan native, now resides in Oklahoma with her boyfriend and pets. When she's not working on her next novel, you can find her cheering on the Green Bay Packers, watching scary movies, or posting reviews on our Instagram page. Now, this was listed on there. It was like, I think it's based on like a true crime kind of thing, which really like excited me as well. But I don't know what it has to do with gay fiction, but it was listed on several of the lists. For over 4 decades, Camp Shady Oaks was the premier youth camp for a summer filled with nature, survival skills, and fun in the remote woods of the Hiawatha National Forest. In 1999, it was forced to close abruptly when tragedy struck. What is now the abandoned location of one of Michigan's most notorious unsolved mysteries gains national attention when former camper Quinn Harstead pens a best-selling account of the events that occurred. The camp remains empty and frozen in time for 23 years before Quinn receives an invitation for its grand reopening. Will she return to the place that continues to haunt her memories in search of answers, or will the secrets of Shady Oak stay buried forever? So I don't know. But this is always in any list about LGBT. Oh my God, it has there's a quote in here from Benjamin Elia Signs. Another secret of the universe. Sometimes pain was like a storm that came out of nowhere. The clear summer could end in a downpour, could end in lightning and thunder. Oh, that's from Aristotle and Dante. So it must have something. Anyway, so this looks good. Excited about that. Okay. The next one is by Andrew Holloran, and I know of him somewhere. I can't remember how I know of him. But Dancer from the Dance is what it's called. The classic coming-of-age gay novel. One of the most... What year did this come out? Let's look and see, first of all. Just put reference to this. Andrew Holloway, a Harvard graduate, is a well-known journalist and frequent contributor to major gay publications. It's published in 1978. Okay. One of the most important works of gay literature, this haunting, brilliant novel is a serio-comic remembrance of things past and still poignantly present. It depicts the adventures of Malone, a beautiful young man searching for love amid New York's emerging gay scene. From Manhattan's Everett baths and after-hours discos to Fire Island's deserted parks and lavish orgies, Malone looks high and low for meaningful companionship. The person he finds is Sutherland, a campy quintessential queen, and one of the most memorable literary creations of contemporary fiction. Hilarious, witty, and ultimately heartbreaking, Dancer from the Dance is truthful, provocative, outrageous fiction told in a voice as close to laughter as to tears. New York Times Book Review, superb. Erotic heat percolates throughout these pages. Woo! Maybe I should take this one to Miami with me. Okay, the next one is called Lie With Me, and it came in this green plastic thing. I don't know why. All these books were recommended on a list. And it is by Philip Besson. It's translated. Oh, it's translated by Molly Ringwald. That's why I wanted to read this one. This one was translated by Molly Ringwald. Stunning and heart-gripping. Andre Ackerman, author of Call Me By Your Name. I never read that book or watched that movie. Did you guys? Was it good? I mean, I've heard a lot about it, but I've never read it. Okay. Just outside a hotel in Bordeaux, Philip chances upon a young man who bears a striking resemblance to his first love. What follows is a look back at the relationship he's never forgotten. A hidden affair with Thomas during their last year of high school. Thomas is the son of a farmer. Philip, the son of a school principal. At school, they don't acknowledge each other, but they still time to meet in secret, carrying on their world-altering affair. Despite the intensity of their attraction from the beginning, Thomas knows how it will end, because you will leave me you will leave and we will stay, he says. Philip becomes a writer and travels the world, though he never lets go of the relationship that shaped him in every story he's told. Dazzlingly rendered in English by Molly Ringwald in her first ever translation, Besson's powerful, moving, coming-of-age novel captures the eroticism and tenderness of first love in the heartbreaking passage of time. Oh, I love that. Philip Besson is an author, screenwriter, and playwright. His novels include, among others, In the Absence of Men and Lie With Me, which won the Maison Delay Press Prize. Okay. And the next one is called About Ed. This one is literally on every single list, and it's by Robert Gluck. Okay, Bob Gluck met Ed Ehrlich Sugai in 1970. Ed was an aspiring artist. Bob wanted to write. They were young men in San Francisco at the high tide of sexual liberation, and soon, and for 8 years, they were lovers. Oh, this is the one about AIDS. After which they were friends. Ed was an explorer in the realms of sex. He was beautiful, fragile, exasperating, serious, unassuming. Unswatched. In 1994, he died of HIV. That was the year I got sober. His dream notebooks became a touchstone for this book, which Gluck has been working on for some 2 decades, which also, while making his name as a proponent of new narrative writing, as one of America's most unusual, venturesome, and lyrical authors. About Ed is about Ed, who remains, as our dead do, both familiar and unknowable, far away and close. It is about Bob, too. The book is a hybrid, at once fiction and fact, like memory, and it takes in many things through tales and political activism and domestic comedy and fury, to questions of art and love and experiences of longing and horror. The book also shifts in register from the delicate to the analytic, to funny and explicit and heartbroken. It begins in San Francisco of the early 1980s, when Ed and Bob have been broken up for a while. AIDS is spreading, but Ed has yet to receive his diagnosis. It follows him backward through his life with Bob in the 1970s and forward through the harrowing particulars of death. It holds on to him and explores his art. It ends in his dreams. Oh, wow. This looks fantastic. I love the cover of this. Oh, much of it is told like in diary form. I love books like that. Okay. And the last one, which also comes in this green thing, is called Above the Fire. I know nothing about this. Oh, this is something to do with Christmas. I don't know why I remember that. This is another one that was on several lists. I think this might have just came out, because I got it hardback, because it just came out. Let's see when it came out. 2023. Okay. Above the Fire, Michael O'Donnell. An enthralling debut, Above the Fire, it crystallizes a relationship between a father and a son as a survivor father in isolation, perfect for fans of The Dog Stars by Peter Heller and The Road. Maybe it was recommended to me because of The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Laboring under a shared loss, Doug and his young son, Tim, set out on a late-season and backpacking trip through the White Mountains of New Hampshire. They find beauty and solidarity in the outdoors, making friends along the trail, and falling into the rhythms of an expedition. But when reports of warfare and social collapse reach the ranger station, Doug, seeking to protect the only family he has left, withdraws even further into the backcountry. The alpine winter presents its own dangers. His father and son must endure the elements of solitude and the ever-present threat of outsiders. As their isolation intensifies and the nature of the country's disorder becomes more unsettling, their bond with each other grows more fierce. But as spring approaches, they must decide whether and how to confront the perils of a changed world. Michael O'Donnell's writing has appeared in the New York Times, The Atlantic, The Wall Street Journal, and The Economist. He lives with his family in the Chicago area where he practices law. Above the Fire is his first book. This one is literally like on every list that I looked. So, I don't know. I have to say, I think I might take this one to Florida. One time when we went to Miami, I literally watched all of these. It reminded me of so many friends of mine that have passed away. I watched all these documentaries about the AIDS crisis. I watched this one called How to Survive a Virus. It's fantastic if you've never seen it. I watched another one called We Were Here. It takes place in San Francisco. It's about the Castro District and everybody that worked there at the time. It was fantastic. I watched all these fantastic documentaries. I watched one on... who was Tennessee Williams ended up writing a play about her, and she was Lou Reed wrote the song on the Walk on the Wild Side about. She was one of the people. Why can't I think of her now? But she was part of Andy Warhol's The Factory and all that. I watched that documentary. Watched a documentary about Divine. I was really into my gay history roots on that trip. So anyway, these are the books. You heard the dog barking in the background? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.